Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Audrey and Scott. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Glad that you could join us today, as if we don't do this every single week and you're always here, but that's the way it goes. Well, happy Peacock Fest, everyone. For those of you who may not be aware, we're in the middle of Peacock Fest, which is a summer celebration of movies, TV shows, and more available on Peacock at no additional cost to our X1 and Flex viewers. So we decided today to dedicate the entire show to Peacock and discuss some of our favorite shows, movies, and events of this summer. So does that sound good to everyone?
Sounds lovely.
Good, because that's what we prepared for all day today to do this. So it'd be weird if you said no. So without further ado, let's kick things off with In the News. As luck would have it, Peacock has been in the news this past week for a variety of reasons, and Scott's going to kick us off with a very exciting concert event. Scott, tell us about it.
Hello. So I'm super excited to chat a little bit about the Miley Cyrus Pride concert that's coming to Peacock. I'm obviously only tackling this because I'm the gay one, allegedly. But maybe not. Who knows? This hour-long concert.
Choking on your own joke.
I can't even get it. Wow. That's the gag. It's like, I'm so gay. It's like, there's no, you can't even, no, whatever. Anyways, this hour-long concert event was filmed at the historic Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. So Miley will be putting her own creative spin on some beloved classics, including Believe by Cher, personal favorite, True Colors, We Belong, Dancing Queen, and a special Madonna medley that includes music, Express Yourself, and Like a Prayer. Naturally, there will be some guest stars here. So we'll have Brothers Osborne, Mickey Guyton, Little Big Town, Maren Morris, and Orville Peck. So definitely one that you want to check out.
She's singing like
who's
a prayer.
Up next? She's singing like a prayer, yeah. So get excited about that.
I am excited because I am a closet Miley fan. And I guess I shouldn't even be a closet Miley fan because she has such a good voice and she does some crazy stuff. But she's so amazing. She's such a great performer. And I know this concert is going to be bananas. So everyone should be really excited.
Fun fact.
I mean, it's Pride Month, Audrey. So you should totally come out of the closet.
Sorry.
Just saying. Sorry.
True point.
Well, fun fact about me is that the first and only time I ever got pulled over for speeding, I was jamming to Party in the USA in my car and just so feeling it.
So good.
Speeding, not too much. And I got pulled over and so Miley is responsible for my first and only speeding ticket, but well worth it because I know she doesn't really like that song because she didn't write it and doesn't really relate to any of the lyrics, but still a bop.
Did you tell the police officer your reason for speeding, that you were just so taken by the music?
Excuse me, sir, why were you going 90 in a 65?
I'm just being Miley.
No,
I didn't do that.
That would have been great.
He may have related, honestly. You could have told him. So.
Yeah. Audrey, what is your bit of news for the week?
Yeah, so on June 14th, Busy Phillips' prayers were answered, as well as I think all of our prayers. And Peacock officially renewed Girls 5 Eva for season 2, which is very excited. So Busy and Sarah Bareilles, Renee Elise Goldsberry, and Paula Pell will return for more nostalgia and late 90s pop for season 2. We don't know when, maybe sometime next year. And I think we all hope that Andrew Rannells also makes a comeback because his character was just the best. Really exciting. Amazing music came out of that show, and it was just so fun, and loved everything about it. So really excited to have that one come back.
Yeah, let's also get more Dolly Parton as, or more of Tina Fey as Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
100% agree with that one. I feel like there's not enough television series like focusing on women in their 40s at the moment. So like totally very excited about this one. And also to your point about the music, I like regularly just throw on I'm Afraid by Sarah Bareilles, which is like the most obscure and like weird song to put on, but like who isn't afraid of being decapitated by a stop sign in high winds? Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Personally, New York Lonely Boy was my jam.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was at Scott's a couple of weekends ago. I feel like every show I have a story about. I was at Scott's a week or two ago, and he had the Girls Five Ever music on. I was like, what is this? Like, who is this song? He's like, that's Girls Five Ever. And I didn't even realize it, even though I've watched the show.
That's how good it is. It's
Stuff.
pervasive.
It is good stuff.
Seriously.
So for our final story of the day, Universal's sequel to the animated film The Boss Baby, entitled The Boss Baby Family Business, will premiere on Peacock the same day as it opens in theaters on June 2nd. And it's available at no additional cost to our friends on X1 and Flex. The movie finds Templeton brothers Tim and Ted all grown up, no longer babies, but a new boss baby gives them a magical potion to turn them back into babies so they can save the family business from an evil genius. A lot going on, but Boss Baby was a massive hit the first time around, produced or created by DreamWorks. So really, really excited for this sequel. And Audrey, you actually filmed an episode of Xfinity Hangouts with Boss Baby stars Alec Baldwin and Amy Sedaris yesterday, right?
I did. And really quick, I just want to call out that you said June 2nd. It's actually July 2nd. And I don't want people to think they can watch it right now. So July 2nd, same day as in theaters. It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't know how it's almost David. July, actually. Time is flying, and especially when we're having fun on these shows. But yes, I sat down with Alec and Amy Sedaris yesterday, and they were hilarious. And if you watch the Boss Baby movie, you know that Puppy Co. is also a company in the movie, much like Baby Corp. And we talked a little bit about animals. So I think we have a clip if we want to take a look at that. So tied to Puppy Co. in the movie, you guys are both PETA advocates. Like, I've seen you both work with PETA. Can you tell me what animal you identify with most?
Well, rabbit for me, because they're fast. They can be in pain, but they don't show they're in pain. They can see from, I can see from behind me. I have that kind of eye in a way, like I go like this. I can see you, Alec. And I'm a hay burner.
What's a hay burner?
Hay burners, animals that eat hay. I just always like that term.
Hay burner.
Hay burners.
Hay Burner Productions. This should be the name of your company.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, please.
Hay Burner Productions. Let me forward your call.
Yeah, I'm like a rabbit.
Alec, what about you?
Let's think of an animal that I probably think of me at this age where I need to rest. I'm very tired. I need some rest. I always think of those documentaries where all the walruses and sea lions are laying on the rocks, just sunning themselves.
Oh, that's adorable.
And they just slap some water on them.
Oh, yeah.
And they just lay there, engorged, and laying in the sun and just resting.
Oh, that's really nice.
And they go out and they eat some sea life.
Yeah.
And they come back and they just lay on the rocks for a while.
Have a lot of kids. Yeah.
Maybe less kids. Maybe less little otters.
So that was just a little glimpse of the hangout. It was super fun. Alec and Amy are both hilarious. We talk about a lot of random things during this interview, so you're definitely going to want to tune in probably a week or two, right around the time that the movie comes out. And it was great talking to them. So Boss Baby Family Business. Yes, July 2nd. Everyone, get excited.
Audrey, we can't move on without talking about spirit animals. So what would your spirit animal be?
Oh, man. So we actually cut this part out to show the clip, but Amy asked me, and I honestly was not ready to answer that question, which was a rookie journalistic mistake. And I said Arctic fox for some reason. And then Alec was like, oh, yes, I felt a cold presence come across the screen when you joined us. And I was like, oh, no.
But was that a read? Oh, my God.
How does he know you so well, Audrey?
Right? He knows my icy cold heart. It just really came across my true self. But yeah, I said Arctic fox for like no apparent reason other than the fact that like my daughter was studying like tundra animals at the time and has been bringing home like match games of foxes and polar bears. So that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. It made no sense. But what about you, Scott? What is your spirit animal?
I would be a quokka. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. No?
Is that a koala
it's like-
mixed with a something?
It's like this weird animal that lives on a random island in Australia. It's like the one where people just go there to take selfies with them because they've never had any natural predators. So they're like super comfortable just like being in front of people and being on camera. So you can like go there and like sit down with one and they just like smile. They look like kind of big gerbils, I guess. I don't know. They're really cute. I'll send you some photos after this.
Oh.
If you don't know quokkas, take a look. Quokka. Quokka. Check it out. You'll love it. Promise. David.
Great. Ugh, me. I was thinking of something similar, like what are they called? Like capybaras? Which
Yeah,
also
that
look
looks like a giant gerbil.
Yeah, and they just kind of like lay around and get muddy and just like live their lives being adorable and chubby. And that's what I want for my life. So yeah, I'd be one of those. Or one of those pigs on the tropical island that gets fed by tourists and they swim. Like I just want to live on a tropical island and have people feed me food in the water. So that could be cool too.
I love that journey for you.
Thank
regular
you.
old Alice Baldwin.
Boss baby. Family business. July 2nd. And of course, we love the budding Boss Baby franchise, and Peacock is chock full of iconic movie series, which we're going to take a look at now in a segment called Best of Peacock Franchises. You know what? I wrote the word budding and thought, should I use budding or not? And I did it. And then, of course, you said something about budding.
Triggered.
Immediately regretted it.
It's correct. Last week, we asked you which Peacock genre you wanted to hear more about. You voted. You told us you wanted more movies. And so what better way to start off your summer with a franchise starring the ocean's most terrifying creature? He's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. Yes, it is Jaws. Jaws premiered in theaters 46 years ago this week, June 20th, 1975, and famously scared beachgoers off the beaches all summer long. Starting July 1st, you can watch the entire Jaws saga, Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, and Jaws the Revenge on Peacock. Perfect way to kick off your summer. So, get to watching and be scared of what's in the water. That's the end of that one. I don't have any kind of like particular shark fear, but I don't like swimming in like ponds or lakes or anything where the water is so dark I can't see too far below the surface. It really creeps me out, and I think part of that has to do with Friday the 13th, because I'm afraid a hand's going to come up and grab my leg from the seaweed below and pull me under. It's a rational fear.
I mean, you'd be surprised. It happens more often than you'd think. So,
I guess
horror movie kill scenes happen more often than you think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're more. Are they more likely than a shark attack? I haven't seen the latest shark attack numbers.
Probably, I would say so.
Yeah.
Deal. We're so good at improv.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably. Why not?
Exactly.
Audrey, what franchise are you excited about?
So it's a little franchise called Leprechaun, which is also totally scary in a different way. If you're afraid of creepy leprechauns hiding in your basement looking for their stolen pot of gold, like this is really for you. And the reason I really wanted to highlight it is because I'm sure you guys know, as you are experts in all things entertainment, but a 24-year-old Jennifer Aniston got her start in the movie biz with this movie, which is just crazy to me that, she was hunting leprechauns in this movie. But there are 8 of these Leprechaun films. They started in 1993 and just kept on going. And some of them are crazy and some are crazier. And they're just a boatload of fun to watch. and you can watch them on Peacock. So that is my pick, the Leprechaun franchise. I don't know if anyone has any rational or irrational Leprechaun fears, but that's what we got.
No,
Go ahead,
not
Scott.
really.
I saw you going for it.
I mean, once it
no
sort of
fears.
went the route of like going into space or Leprechaun in the Hood, I was just like, this isn't scary anymore. I mean, what would be scarier is if like you changed places with Lucky, the Lucky Charms Leprechaun, and just like that would be more terrifying, going after the children's, and their Lucky Charms, that stuff. No? Okay.
Audrey, you're the only one among us who's a human parent, and I don't know if they still do this, but when I was in elementary school, we used to, like around St. Patrick's Day, build leprechaun traps. Like we build like a box to try and trap a leprechaun, and then the teacher would come through and put green footprint stamps leading down the hallway into the classroom and sort of mess with the traps to make it look like they had messed with it, like Santa Claus eating the cookies and leaving crumbs behind.
Yeah. We never did that in school, but that is like a very popular like Pinterest mom trend where like, you try to be like the mom that does it all and does all the cool things and for every holiday, and you make like a whole hoopla about it all. And I've definitely seen that before and thought it was probably as a kid super fun, but I didn't ever actually do it.
Yeah, I can't believe I was ever I can't believe I was ever at a point in my life where even as a child I believed that possibly leprechauns were real. But I don't know, I guess if you believe in Santa, that you could believe in leprechauns too.
What? Leprechauns aren't real.
Oh, sorry.
What if there are children watching, guys? You just you spoiled it. Like, come on.
Sorry, it's children. Scott, what is moving on for something else not for the children is your franchise pick.
Yeah, so I totally noticed that we all picked horror movies, which is amazing because Peacock has a lot more horror classics than I expected. But my pick is the Wishmaster franchise, which is like an absolute 90s classic, produced by horror icon Wes Craven and features a ton of cameos, at least in the first one, from horror royalty, like Robert Englund, who plays Freddy, Kane Hodder, who plays Jason, Tony Todd, who is Candyman, and Ted Raimi from The Evil Dead. So for those unfamiliar, Wishmaster is about a djinn, which is a fancy word for a genie, who is like the polar opposite of the Aladdin type. So this guy is like an entirely malevolent creature who grants wishes solely to make them come true in like the worst way possible for people, all while trying to fulfill this like ancient prophecy in which granting 3 wishes to the person who woke him allows him to like conquer Earth. Because, there's always like Earth conquering that's happening. But super, super cool. Like the practical effects are really, really intense, like especially for the 90s. So if you're a fan of like gruesome horror, totally recommend checking this one out.
Nice.
Have either of you seen it? No?
I have not, but I do feel like I would absolutely mess up like a wish situation and end up with the worst possible scenario. Like I'd ask for the power of flight and I just float off to the moon and be done with. Like that would happen 100% with my wishes.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you can actually make a wish that isn't going to result in something bad with this guy, but who knows?
I know. I don't know how I haven't seen it.
No.
Because I love Robert Englund and like Freddy Krueger is my absolute favorite of all of the horror people. So I'll have to check that one out for sure.
Yeah. Of course, movies aren't the only franchises available on Peacock. There are so many great TV and sports franchises to check out, including my personal favorite. It's not going to surprise anyone who knows me or has seen me on the show. It's the WWE Network. Back in April, Peacock became the exclusive home of the WWE Network, which features thousands of hours of pro wrestling action, including Raw, SmackDown, and NXT replays, every pay-per-view event ever, and original series. And you don't have to be a new wrestling fan to enjoy it. One of my favorite series is called The Monday Night Wars, which is a docu-series that chronicles the battle for pro wrestling supremacy between WWE and WCW in the 90s. Today, I randomly put on a 1992 episode of WWF Superstars, and it featured a match between The Undertaker and the Berserker, which just brings me right back to watching wrestling as a kid on Sunday mornings, and still believing like everything was totally legit and a walking zombie man was fighting a giant barbarian man. And where did they come from? From parts unknown, if we've learned anything from wrestling. And I also love Broken Skull Sessions series with Stone Cold Steve Austin, as well as WWE 24 and WWE Ride Along. So there's a little bit of something out there outside of just watching matches in the ring. And it's all on WWE Network on Peacock. The end.
The end.
Wow.
So mine, if I'm next,
Yes.
is the Real Housewives franchises. So on Peacock, you can watch back seasons of Real Housewives of Dallas, Atlanta, Beverly Hills, New Jersey, New York, Orange County, and Potomac, which is amazing. Like, take your pick. They're all amazing. And you can't be bothered to pick if it's just too much pressure and you can't decide which franchise to go with. You can just tune to the Real Housewives channel in Peacock for a random episode, which is so awesome. Sometimes at the end of the day, I'm just sick of making decisions and I just want them to be made for me. So you just flip it on and there you go. Like, just a wonderful, sure to be amazing episode of Housewives waiting for you. So if you're a reality TV fan, this is the place for you. And I think Scott has another reality TV franchise.
I do. But we would be like remiss if I didn't ask you who your favorite housewife is.
Oh, man. Well, we've been talking about this season of Beverly Hills and how Kathy Hilton is just like the most wonderful gift we've ever been given on Bravo. Right?
Seriously.
She's so
icon,
funny.
legend. So good. So good.
But like, does she even know?
I don't think she does. I think that's the beauty of it. She's like so blissfully unaware of like how pure she is. Like, like who travels with a giant box fan everywhere they go? Like, who drinks a Red Bull at 12 and like 12 or 2 a.m. or whatever and is like, oh, I thought it was a soft drink. Like, what world are you living in that you didn't know that a Red Bull was an energy drink? Like, mind blown. But anyways,
then she shows up to like, she shows up to like Sutton's Paris party and everyone's all fancy with like hats and dresses and polka dots. And she's like wearing a blazer and jeans. And she's like, this is how I do Paris during the day. I don't know about you. And just like, is so cool. The best.
Iconic, honestly.
So currently she's my favorite at the moment.
I want to pull the conversation back now. I didn't realize we were going to ask specific questions to our franchises, but who is your favorite 1990s pro wrestler? I know it's going to be harder for Audrey. Both of you.
Oh, I mean, the one that certainly stands out is, I mean, I've said this before, Gold Dust, not just for the queer undertones, but like, well, no, mostly the queer undertones.
I don't think they were undertones. They were overtones, I think, Scott.
You're right. But also, like, I know he's not really a wrestler, but Paul Bearer really sung to me, like, you know, just the, oh, yes, that whole thing, like, honestly, like the best.
I always love a Paul Bearer conversation.
Oh, and China. I mean, obviously China, because China. So.
Yeah. Audrey, any pulls from you from back in the 90s?
I think Shawn Michaels. He was like the bad boy, right?
He was.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels I'm going to go with because, you know, he was fun. He was stirred up the drama, and that's what you want in wrestling, right? You want craziness.
The Heartbreak Kid stirred up the drama on and off the screen, and I'm sure on. Yeah. I think there's a like a documentary on WWE Icons, which is a WWE Network series about Shawn Michaels. So definitely check that out. Scott, your franchise?
Right. My TV franchise, and I know I've talked about this before on the live show, is Below Deck. And I'll say it again, I'm like properly obsessed with this show. It all started a few months ago. Picture it. We're like peak pandemic. I'm on my couch, typing away on my computer. I put Bravo on in the background. And before I know it, I'm like wrapped up in some drama with a girl named Hannah and some drugs that she brought on board. I mean, like, needless to say, I had to circle back and get all of the details. So, I mean, I fell hard first for Below Deck Med. Then I got onto like the crazy train with Sailing Yacht. And soon I'll be churning through the OG, which I haven't started yet. So kind of waiting on that one because I hear that that's pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, like, who would have thought that the lives of charter yacht staff and their like kooky guests would be so damn interesting? But like, I'm a believer now and I'm totally into this series. So sign me up. And like the beauty of like being able to just put it on Peacock and like watch it from the beginning and not have to worry about like bouncing between different services or like missing episodes is A+. So love it. And Audrey, I know you watch as well, right?
I do. And the thing that I always wonder at the end of every episode, I don't know, David, have you ever seen it?
I have,
Below Deck?
but just episodes here or there. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end, it's like, okay, we got the tip. And like they all go like and huddle around a table and like an envelope of cash is divvied out. And I never know what's good or not. Like they'll be like, okay, and we got the tip. It's $20,000. And I'm like, is that a lot? Is that a little? Like, I need someone to break down to me, like, what an average tip is. Like, what is extra? Are we happy? How do we feel? Because I never know. It's like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing to wonder, but I just never know. Is it good or bad?
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. I've like chartered yachts before, but like nothing like these sizes. But I don't remember. I didn't pay the tip, so I have no clue like what is actually like a reasonable amount. Also,
I've chartered yachts before. Oh, come on.
Well, now you know.
Bougie.
I can't wait to make your Christmas t-shirt that says, I've chartered yachts before.
That's
Wait,
it.
I have to write that. Don't forget that because I have to write that down.
I will not forget. What a revelation.
Well,
Wait,
moving
I am
on.
Curious. No, we'll move on for that. But I am curious because there's three different. There's Below Deck Med, and Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Do you have a specific favorite out of the three?
Me personally?
Me or Scott?
Any of you? Yeah, you both watch.
Personally, I love Below Deck Med. I mean, Captain Sandy is iconic, if not a little variable in her approach to disciplining people. But I just find the staff more interesting in that show. Like Sailing Yacht, everybody just seems like a bit of a mess, and I don't really connect with any of those people as much. But it's like,
yeah,
this dude like cheated on you, and then you're gonna go back and sleep with him. Like, why? Like, that's a dumb move. But yeah, I don't know. That's so Below Deck Med for sure for me. But I haven't seen the OG, so I can't speak, with certainty there.
The original Below Deck is great. Below Deck Med is also great. I agree. In order for me, they would be like Med, OG, and then Sailing Yacht. Because Captain Lee is also great, but you haven't really met him yet if you're just doing Captain Sandy. But it's super fun. And actually, starting now with the new season of Below Deck Med on Peacock, you can watch episodes a week early on Peacock. So you don't have to wait for them to air on Bravo. You can watch them a full week before all of your friends and know what's going on, which is super awesome.
Wow.
So, yes, Below Deck. Mm-hmm.
David,
right.
who's your favorite captain? Is it Captain
My
Noah?
favorite No, it's Captain Crunch is my favorite.
I knew you were going to
captain.
say Captain Crunch.
Of course.
And the crunch berries, but not all berries. I mean, you have to have the little barrels and the berries because too much berries is just ridiculous.
Captain Crunch hurts your mouth. No. Shut it down.
It sure does. But I'll still enjoy it.
Is there a version that's just all berries and no barrels?
Yeah, it's called Oops, All Berries.
Wow. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. That's
Also,
been
never
cereal
realized
talk.
they were barrels.
I don't know if they're barrels, but they look like little barrels. I'm sure there's like an actual thing that they are. Like, like
they're treasure chests.
Oh.
Aren't they?
Oh, they might be.
There's a lot of reaching that's happening here. They could just be rectangles. Like, I'm just throwing that out there.
They could just be cereal bits. Right. Well, we all tend to get stuck in a rut of watching the same shows and genres over and over again. So we want to help you pick a fresh new show based on stuff you might already like in a new segment we call If You Like, Then. Here's the idea. If you like The Office, you'd probably like Parks and Rec. If you like Cheers, you'd probably like Frasier. And each of us has picked a show, genre, or thing we're obsessed with, and a new Peacock show with similar vibes. So, Scott, kick us off.
Ooh, I get to go first? Love this.
Yes, sir.
So, if you like puppers and flutes, which is, code for dogs, then you'll love Vanderpump Dogs. And who doesn't love dogs, honestly? Everybody loves dogs. And if you don't, I don't trust you. You should just stop watching immediately. Vanderpump Dogs is a new Peacock original reality show that follows Lisa Vanderpump of Housewives fame and her LA-based dog foundation, Vanderpump Dogs. The Rescue Center was founded in 2016 with this goal of reinventing the image of a dog shelter. So from a pound to a palace, and boy, does it deliver, honestly. The show is equal parts Match Game and Best in Show, and is 100% feel-good fantasy, which is kind of what everybody needs right now, just positive, good energy television shows. So highly recommend. Have either of you guys watched?
I have.
Yeah. What'd you think, Audrey?
I liked it. I mean, I've been missing LVP from the Housewives world a little bit. And I also love dogs. So I'm not going to ever hate on a dog show. It's adorable and fun. So yay, dogs.
Yay, dogs.
Yeah.
Yay, dogs.
I was just, because I had not done it before the show, but I recalled that the names of the episodes were really hilarious for Vanderpump Dogs. And of course, now that I'm trying to do it, I can't figure out what the episodes are. I should have looked.
On his phone.
Yes. Sorry. So a perfect proposal. I was the first one to do it. The doggy wears Prada. Twinsies. 10 is the new 5. The princess and the pup. And cheaper by the Vander dozen. I love a good creative episode title, and
seriously.
That does it. 10 is the new 5 is probably the best dog specific title of the bunch.
I mean, they are pretty possum names. I'm going to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good.
You did
Very
it. Wow. Shall I go next with my If You Like Then pick?
Sounds great.
I will.
Do it. You should.
Thanks, David. I will do it. We all love American police procedurals like Law and Order and Chicago PD. Excuse me. But for truly epic twists, turns, and thrills, British television does crime dramas. Sorry, like no one else. I'm all choked up.
Feels like there's some subtext here, David, that you're trying to throw in.
I'm not being suggestive in any way. And so one of the best British crime series out there is called Line of Duty. And if you like Line of Duty, you'll like the new Peacock series, Save Me. Created by, written by, and starring Fear the Walking Dead actor Lenny James, the show follows a down-on-his-luck man whose life is turned upside down when he's arrested for allegedly kidnapping his estranged daughter. The thing is, he didn't do it, and now he has to prove his innocence by finding the actual culprit. So Lenny James starred in the first season of Line of Duty, and Save Me is produced by the same company behind both Line of Duty and another amazing crime thriller called Bodyguard, which I think we all watched and really loved, and it's on Netflix now. If I haven't convinced you yet, Save Me won a BAFTA in 2021 for Best TV Drama Series, and the show has an equally critically acclaimed second season called Save Me 2, TOO, which is also available on Peacock. So highly recommend you check that out because it's just a different vibe with the British crime dramas. So can't recommend it enough.
I feel like they missed an opportunity to be like, save me again. Like, could have the same person
I'm
get
sure.
like...
Season 4, hey, please save me also.
All right.
Yes. Audrey, your if you like then pick?
Yeah, so you guys said a lot about all of your picks, but all I need to say is if you like Bridesmaids, you will like Girls Five Eva. Because these, first of all, just look at the key art. Like, they were just made to be watched in conjunction with one another. Like, look at that. So yeah, Bridesmaids, we all know and love. Maya Rudolph, Kristen Wiig from like the hilarious story that is just a bunch of like funny ladies doing funny things and being lovable, but going through the ups and downs of friendship and then having it all work out. Girls Five Eva is like an updated version of that in TV form. We've talked about it before on the show, so I'm not going to give the whole recap again, but think of 90s pop group, breaks up years later, gets back together, and hilarity ensues. So really, these are just two of my favorite things on Peacock, period. And if you like either one, you will love the other. So, and I know we've all watched both of these, I have to imagine.
Yeah, and I love somebody should make the tagline for Girls Five Eva, made to be watched. Girls Five Eva, made to be watched. Girls Five Eva, I chartered a boat once.
A yacht.
A yacht. I chartered a yacht.
I'm never going to live it down. Wow.
I've chartered yachts. Plural yachts.
Oh.
The name of my new single. It's out on iTunes now. Check it out.
All right. All right, y'all. Let's find out what's trending on Peacock. The true crime genre is hotter than ever, and our resident murder-dirter guru, Audrey, has the scoop on an impressive slate of true crime series, docuseries, and documentaries available on Peacock. Audrey, take it away.
Okay, so David is right. I am a true crime junkie. And if you are too, Peacock is really the place for you this summer. So starting in July, there's going to be some new stuff, but there's already great stuff you can watch. So Dateline 24/7 is a channel that is always running. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can just pop that baby on and find some real life crime. And it's just, again, a lean back experience. You don't know who did it. It was probably the husband or the boyfriend, but you're going to watch it anyway because you can't stop. So that is always there for you. John Wayne Gacy, The Devil in Disguise, premiered on Peacock a few months back. It is an original. It's the story of one of the most notorious serial killers of all time, told through the words of Gacy himself. So super creepy, very dark, but really well done, has gotten really high praise from critics and fans alike. So if you're looking for something to watch now, John Wayne Gacy, The Devil in Disguise is there for you. So coming up, Epstein's Shadow, the Ghislaine Maxwell story. This is a 3-part docu-crime series that will investigate Ghislaine Maxwell. She was a British socialite and once heiress to the Maxwell fortune, and her alleged relationship with Jeffrey Epstein had led to her being arrested. She's currently awaiting to stand trial in November, and this series will take a peek into her world. Then coming to Peacock, the original Dr. Death on July 15th. This is a true crime series that stars Joshua Jackson, Alec Baldwin, and Christian Slater, and it's based on a podcast of the same name. The 8-episode series will really take a dive into these physicians who really set up to stop a colleague, played by Joshua Jackson. They see him discover these egregious cases of medical malpractice and try to discover ways that they can beat the system and figure out what he is doing and how to stop him. So along with that, on July 29th, Dr. Death, the Undoctored story will take a deeper dive into that series.
So I'm specifically excited about the Dateline channel because, I mean, it doesn't matter if it comes on and it's like halfway through the story, if I see it on TV, or even towards the, like I'll jump in just to see the like whatever the result of the story was. Like I can generally catch up, but I just like tune in just to figure out if someone's guilty or innocent or like how it turns out, and it never disappoints. Every time it's good.
Yeah.
Especially if Keith Morrison is on. If Keith Morrison is on, then I'm like all in because that dude is incredible.
Voice of an angel.
Yeah.
Or a devil.
Or yes. That's my Keith Morrison. Yes.
That was good.
Thank you. You're way too kind. I'm also like really excited about that. Or I'm not. I like the John Wayne Gacy. It's weird to say that you like a story about John Wayne Gacy, but it's like so creepy to hear in their own words when you get those true crime documentaries, like the Richard Ramirez one that was out. When you like actually hear their voice, it makes it so much more haunting. Aside from the fact that the like Gacy key art like has him as like half a clown, which is really creepy too. Like,
yeah.
As a former clown, this one sort of resonates with me, but also like is problematic because not all clowns are serial killers, and I feel like it unnecessarily paints clowns in a bad light. So yeah.
Well, as someone who once chartered a clown car, I can also say that I was very haunted by it.
So just keeping track. Today we learned Scott was once a clown and Scott has chartered yachts. All right, that's 2.
It was not
what
related.
What else will we learn?
Promise. Stay tuned to find out.
A couple segments to go. So, in case you missed it, it's Peacock Fest. And now we're going to tell you a little bit about what we're watching. Singing that Four Non Blondes song before we got on just really ruined my voice. What's going on?
Vocal exercises, you know?
Yeah, it's too much. Audrey, tell us a little bit more about Peacock Fest.
Yeah, so Peacock Fest officially started on the 18th and goes through July 5th. And this was really our way of bringing Peacock content to you in a new way. So we're all missing a little bit of normalcy and things are starting to get back to normal. So we were thinking of summer concert festivals. And so we thought it would be a really cool way to position this content. So you can think of the headliners at this festival as the big name shows and movies that everyone knows and loves. So your Offices, Yellowstones, Harry Potters, Matrix. Opening acts are all these amazing Peacock originals that are coming to you. We Are Lady Parts is one of the newest one that I personally love. But there's Girls 5 Eva, which we've talked about, Vanderpump Dogs, Intelligence, The Amber Ruffin Show. There's a ton of great ones and always coming out. Dr. Death will be a new one when that comes out. And then the encores. These are like your timeless classics that everyone can just go back to. Your Frasier's, your Murder, She Wrote, your Everybody Loves Raymond's, Law and Order SVU. So that was the idea with Peacock Fest, and we just thought it was a really fun way to kind of bring the festival to you through your television. And yeah, we hope everyone loves it. It was really fun.
So I think we each put together our own opening act, headliner, and encore mini Peacock Fest. Audrey, did you want to start with that?
Yeah, sure. So David said we all took a stab at putting together our own personal Peacock Fest. So my opening act will be We Are Lady Parts. I mentioned this is an all-girl Muslim punk band show that is just really unlike anything else that's on TV right now. It's super fun. The music is awesome. Like as a teen punk / goth, this music really speaks to that part of my soul. So I just really loved it. It was super, super fun. The headliner would have to be Saturday Night Live for me. Peacock has 46 seasons of Saturday Night Live, which is just crazy that it's been on that long and you can watch them all on Peacock. And then my encore, this is a little bit of a deep cut. Like Scott mentioned earlier, I think Peacock has a ton of movies, like library movies that you wouldn't necessarily think of. And Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds is a classic and probably the reason why I'm terrified of winged objects to this day. But I really think these are 3 strong picks for my own personal Peacock Fest. So that's what I picked.
Audrey, I think every time we
Thoughts?
talk about your goth phase, you promise to send photos of you in your Jenko jeans, and it never happens. And I really need it in my life.
Please do, with your ICP face makeup.
It wasn't that. It was more skater punk than it was like ICP. Insane Clown Posse for those maybe not in the know. But I'll try. There was dark lipstick. There were like ball chain chokers. There was like flat ironed silver hair. It was a look, but I'll try.
I can't even imagine it.
Seriously.
Like, I really can't.
It was fun.
There's a great meme out there for like about Jenko jeans where it shows someone whose like jeans are like wet halfway up to their knees because the jeans dragged in the snow in the winter and just soaked up water. And I remember, like, I clearly remember the names of the kids in high school that always had like wet pant legs.
Yeah, and the whole back was all tattered and there were just like strings hanging because you just walked over it with your sneaker back and drug it along the asphalt. But that just made it cooler, right?
It was a vibe, you know?
They're slowly coming back. Like wide leg jeans are coming back. Skinny jeans are going out. Well, so I'm told the kids say these days. But it's only a matter of time before Jenkos are back. Yeah.
One can hope.
Who's festivaling next?
I believe I am festivaling next. And my opening act is the Office Superfan episodes exclusively on Peacock. I'm an Office superfan. I've seen the entire series the entire way through at least a dozen times, like seriously a dozen times, episode 1 to the finale. So when Peacock released these extended episodes featuring deleted scenes, I was absolutely ecstatic. Because who would have thought that we'd get to see new Michael Scott content 16 years after the series finale? So far, Peacock has released extended Superfan episodes for seasons 1 and 3, so you can see even more of Amy Adams as the purse girl in the Hot Girl episode, more Prison Mike in the Convict episode, and more of Phyllis's wedding to Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration. My headliner is, no surprise, the July 18th WWE event Money in the Bank. We know a few matches so far, including WWE Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair and WWE Champion Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston. But the main events of the night are the Money in the Bank ladder matches. The idea is simple. 7 WWE superstars enter the ring. There's a briefcase containing a world title match contract hanging above the ring, and the first superstar to climb the ladder and grab the briefcase gets a WWE title shot anytime, anywhere of their choosing. So there's one match for the men, one match for the women, and it's typically a very physical and dangerous affair, but it's one of the best gimmick matches of the entire year for WWE. So check that on the WWE Network on Peacock. And my encore is the 1988 John Carpenter classic They Live, starring late pro wrestling superstar Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David, who have one of the best on-screen fistfights of all time ever filmed on the screen. Piper plays a drifter named Nada, who uses a magical pair of sunglasses to locate and eliminate aliens disguised as humans. And Nada does not mess around. He's here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and he's all out of bubblegum. So that's my festival lineup for Peacock Fest. Any questions?
No, I love it.
So good.
I love it.
It's really crazy given like all the all the amazing horror movies John Carpenter has made, and like They Live is more heavy on the social commentary than I think some of his other movies are, but like still like stands the test of time and speaks to consumerism, and it's just so good even now.
The description of that movie is just superb.
Yeah, David did an excellent job, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, guys. Scott, now you have so much to live up to with your lineup. So please tell us about it.
Why do I feel like my tour or music tour is not going to be as good as yours? Here we go. Opening act, the new Saved by the Bell. Honestly, I think this one surprised all of us, like how ballsy to reboot such an iconic and beloved franchise, especially on what was at the time like a relatively young streaming service. But as someone who watched the original series, I can say with confidence that it certainly stuck the landing, and I think you guys liked it as well. Plus, as someone who is regularly watching LGBTQ content, it's great to see that Josie Tota is one of the main characters and is openly trans with her character. So I love to see that Peacock kind of is continuing to really lean into representing the community in such a positive light in all of its original series. So definitely check out that one if you haven't already. In terms of a headliner, I've got Parks and Recreation. I mean, who doesn't love Parks and Recreation? For those who have been living under a rock, Parks and Rec is a comedy about government workers in Pawnee, Indiana. Sounds riveting, right? What's not to love? Government workers. I mean, clearly there's a market for it because we had a reality show here about the Philadelphia Parking Authority and that was popular. So I mean, this is better. I think part of it is because these characters are so relatable. There's little bits of all of them that we can kind of find in ourselves. So love that one. Stands the test of time. All of it's available on Peacock exclusively. So check that out now. And then in terms of an encore, put in a classic, Jurassic Park. I mean, has there ever been a more iconic movie moment than when Sam Neill's character falls asleep on an airplane only to wake up to a velociraptor in the chair next to him being like, Alan, come on, totally came out of left field. And to this day, I still can't meet someone with the name Alan and not like Alan. It's just too much. It's too much. So I actively avoid people named Alan now because of this film. But Jurassic Park, I think, as everybody knows, is one of those few movies that is family friendly-ish, but is also super tense and can be scary at times. And I think it's a difficult line to straddle, but it's done so well. And that sort of explains why it's a classic. So yeah, those are my picks. Thoughts, feelings, concerns? Alan.
It's not fair that you had to do your Alan stuff while alone on the screen because we were laughing, but for anyone who doesn't know, you were just doing that to no audience response.
It's okay. I can laugh at my own jokes. I'm fine.
I love Jurassic Park though. I remember seeing it in the drive-in movie theater, which isn't really a thing anymore. I know David has more recently than most of us have been to a drive-in, but I haven't been to one since I was a kid. And that may have been the last movie I've seen at the drive-in. But oh God, I love Jurassic Park so much as a kid. So good.
Yeah, I use the, while that's an iconic moment for you, I use the hand into the Triceratops poop gif constantly. I'm not going to tell you the context of the times that I use that, but
I mean, that was definitely a follow-up. You can't say that and then not say what you're using it for, because this is going in all sorts of directions.
I mean,
also, I feel like we have multiple group conversations and solo conversations on the reg, and I've never seen you use this. I would also like to know what the circumstances are.
No,
clever girl.
Okay.
It's a little, yeah, but also the is another.
That actually is iconic. Love.
So good.
Yeah. I will also very quickly second your love for Saved by the Bell. I think we all really loved it, and we're honestly kind of shocked by how good it was. And I'll say quickly, the reason I love it so much is that whereas Boy Meets or Girl Meets World and Fuller House very much rely on, in my opinion, the older stars to really make you enjoy it. Honestly, I didn't care about Girl Meets World unless Corey and Topanga were on the screen. But they really established the new characters, built a world for them, made the characters feel three-dimensional and lived in. So you really cared about them, and you didn't need to see Slater or Jesse on the screen to really enjoy the series. And that's why I thought it was so cool.
I agree. Good point.
You perfectly handled that. It was well balanced.
Yeah. All right. So we all did we all did it. We all did our thing. So before we head out for the week, we're going to help you plan ahead. There is so much to look forward to this summer on Peacock, and you can check out a calendar full of exciting new movies, TV series, kids shows, and sporting events by saying Peacock calendar into your voice remote. But we're going to give you a little teaser of what's ahead, starting with me, and I'm going to take it away right now.
Dun 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 dun. The games of the 32nd Olympiad, aka the Summer Olympics, kick off live from Tokyo on July 23rd, and Peacock has you covered with all the action through August 8th. Enjoy select full event replays on demand each day, live broadcasts of the USA men's basketball games, live channels featuring current Tokyo competition, highlights, and recaps, as well as historic Olympic moments, the Olympic Flame Cam, and a variety of Olympic-themed shows, series, and documentaries. Did you miss the opening or closing ceremonies? Peacock offers replays of both epic events. And the thrill of competition on Peacock doesn't end with the Olympics. On August 21st, join the biggest party of the summer when WWE SummerSlam 2021 emanates live from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Who will step up to challenge Universal Champion Roman Reigns for the title? We don't know just yet, but the champ recently addressed rumors that wrestlers turned actors The Rock and John Cena are returning to the squared circle, telling ESPN's Sports Nation, quote, "I'm a problem right now for everybody. If I were them, I would stay on set. Don't come back to my ring."
All right. And so, Scott, you have a couple series coming up that you would like to tell us about. So take it away.
First up is Cabin in the Woods, which is one of my personal favorites. For those unfamiliar, this one is an homage/parody of modern classic horror flicks. It follows a rambunctious group of 5 college friends who steal away for a weekend of debauchery in an isolated country cabin, only to be attacked by horrific supernatural creatures in a night of endless terror and bloodshed. But what about that crazy gas station owner who warns them of their terrible fate? Don't worry, he's in there too. Totally can't miss him. So this film never takes itself too seriously, but that doesn't stop it from delivering on the scares. So definitely check this one out, and trust me, you will never see that twist coming. Death Becomes Her may have fizzled out in the theater, but in the close to 30 years since its initial release, the film has become a touchstone of the queer community. Why? Well, the exact reason may be hard to pinpoint. One could understand why LGBTQ folks would be attracted to tales of struggle and resilience. More likely, though, is it's just so damn campy. It's so over the top that it's like, how could this not have been made for drag queens? Also, the 2 leads are played by Goldie Hawn and Meryl Streep, who we gays absolutely love, and it's no secret that the queer community is obsessed with hyper-feminine female villains. I mean, hello, don't even get me started on Disney villains. Anyways, check this one out and enjoy the ride on the crazy train.
And last, but certainly not least, Audrey, tell us about your picks to plan ahead.
Calling all muggles and mudbloods, Peacock will be the exclusive home to the fantastical Harry Potter film series. That's right, friends, you can watch starting July 1st. And although they did not attend Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the Jonas Brothers did put a magical spell on millions when they hit the tween scene back in 2005. This summer, you can watch Kevin, Joe, and Nick on Peacock as everyone's favorite Jersey boys attempt to fulfill their childhood dreams of proving they have what it takes to compete like an Olympian. Check out Olympic Dreams featuring the Jonas Brothers on July 22nd and see what a man got to do to compete like a super athlete. So you just saw a small offering of what Peacock has coming up this summer, but to see everything, I'm talking TV shows, original series, movies, kids, live sports, all of it. Just say Peacock calendar into your voice remote and you'll see what's happening this month, next month, the following month. We'll continue to add more things as they become available, but this is really your go-to resource all summer long for amazing content on Peacock.
Awesome. Well, I think that will do it for this week's episode all about Peacock. You can join Peacock Fest right now by saying Peacock Fest into your voice remote. I would like to thank my fellow editors and friends, Audrey and Scott, for joining me today. If you want to check out the shows we talked about today, or get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities like Alec Baldwin and Amy Sedaris, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. My name is David, and thanks for joining us on What to Watch Live.